Dokes with the half-inch height advantage. Dokes at 225, 20 pounds lighter than when he began his comeback a little over 2 years ago. Holyfield trimming down to 208. He was 210 his last fight. Dokes the half-inch reach advantage. 20-0 with 16 knockouts. His toughest test to date against Michael Dokes, the former WBA heavyweight champion. Dokes said he's going to come right out, look for the knockout. And Evander Holyfield says he's just going to apply pressure. The fact that this fight is for the WBC Continental Americas title is almost irrelevant of what greater significance the boxing future of two men at stake. Dokes looking to avoid fading into obscurity. Holyfield out to show the boxing world that he is Mike Tyson's next opponent.
Well, they certainly have lived up to their billing. Very heavy shots to the body by Dokes, and Holyfield is responding 2 punches to 1.
Evander Holyfield in the blue trunks with the white trim. Michael Dokes in the white trunks.
Oh, 2 good shots, but they were low.
Lou says the key word here for Evander Holyfield is respect, especially at the start. Holyfield has to go after Dokes early because Dokes intends to come out punching, and Dokes will figure, hey, he's just a light heavyweight.
Well, it's in Dokes' favor. They're getting a punch out, and they are in a punch out. Holyfield's superior reflexes are evident right now, though. One thing that was supposed to happen was the fast hands of Dokes should neutralize the superior reflexes of Holyfield. That has not happened right now.
Well, there's no denying the skills of these two fighters. Lou Duva told me this fight will come from the gut.
Well, it's going to the gut because Dynamite is working hard. Dokes working hard on the body of Holyfield. Holyfield coming back with serious punching to the head.
Around, but Richard Steele breaks him up. The odds on this fight began at 9-1 favoring Holyfield. This morning, it was 3.5 to 1. Big left by Holyfield.
Holyfield is honing in right on Dokes' open face, and he's landing solidly. Dokes, for his part, is trying to get down into the body to put some hurt on the much lighter Holyfield.
Less than 30 seconds in the opening round, scheduled for 12.
He now has 18 seconds time to recover this timeout. When they come back, it's 18 seconds. He should be able to continue. He certainly will be able to continue for 18 seconds.
Dokes takes a big deep breath, has blood coming from the lower lip, and continues. The words respect coming from the corner of Evander Holyfield.
And he certainly has gotten that. Holyfield is just teeing off on Dokes' exposed face. Dokes trying to outspeed him, but can't. Oh, another low blow by Dokes.
And that is it for round 1. Action-packed. We'll take a look at the low blow by Holyfield.
That certainly was south of the border. Now, they can call time, which they did. There'd be a minute. That could be 2 minutes. That could be at the discretion of the referee. Certainly not longer than 2 minutes, at which time the qualifier loses.
Round 2, scheduled for 12.
Well, that first round lived up to everything both fighters told us they were going to do. Both tried to establish superiority. Both tried to get respect. And both landed low punches.
And they come out with a furious exchange to begin the second. A solid right that landed by Holyfield to the head of Dokes. Oh, and Dokes landed. Might have been a low blow. A right by Holyfield and a left by Holyfield to the head. Now another right by Holyfield.
Holyfield landing clean blows to the head of Dokes. Dokes concentrating on the body and leaving his head wide open. That first round was a blazer, and this is a corner.
Evander Holyfield built like a football linebacker, trimming down to 208 for more quickness against the 225-pound Michael Dokes. Holyfield actually looked like he was upset, angry at the low blows earlier.
Dokes giving no motion whatsoever, standing right in front of Holyfield. Holyfield can take his shots, give angles, and not get hit in return. Zing, very hard punches.
Combination by Holyfield, but they didn't land. Holyfield trying to prove to the boxing world that he has knockout power. He didn't say publicly that he'd like to KO Michael Dokes, but you have to figure deep down inside he would like to prove a point.
Well, Dokes has got concrete in his chin, and he's got a huge heart. Nothing wrong with that. It's his legs south of the border that are in question, but he's been known to take some great shots by heavy punching heavyweights. Can Holyfield's shots be enough to stop Dokes? That's what we're going to find out.
Low blows again by the voice of Lou Duva. Get that respect. To the head goes Dokes, and those punches connected. Holyfield misses with a left.
Holyfield's left hook after right cross, a thing of beauty. He's been missing it, but it's getting closer and closer. Those are the knockout punches when they land. After a combination, that left hook is usually kiss off. That's the one that knocks you out.
And that is it for round 2. And let's see if this is a low blow by Dokes. Indeed.
That has been happening all during the first 2 rounds. Discombobulating.
Round 3 scheduled for 12. The stakes are high tonight, but they're higher for Evander Holyfield. Both have a lot to gain, but Holyfield risking his status as Mike Tyson's ultimate opponent.
Now for once, all of a sudden, Dokes trying to out-jab Holyfield. Somebody's mouthpiece just fell out.
It's Dokes. It's Dokes' mouthpiece. Dokes pouring in, going to the body. Holyfield, his quickness, able to elude those punches. Holyfield smiles at Dokes, saying, "I'm okay. You didn't hurt me."
But those punches that land to the arms and body, you're going to be able to tell the effect of those in another few rounds. He's now landing flush to the face as Dokes. Back comes Holyfield with some good shots to the head.
Oh, a crisp right uppercut by Holyfield. Dokes without the mouthpiece.
Dokes has opened up differently this round, going to the head, building up an early lead as punch after punch rains on Holyfield without an answer.
Stamina will begin to play a role.
Well, that's what Dokes is counting on with his early attack. Hard attack to the head of Holyfield, who's not fighting back. He's standing still, taking these shots from Dokes, and that can't be good, folks.
Holyfield looks a bit frustrated.
Not only frustrated, he looks tired and he looks a little hurt.
He's been tagged. He has been rocked by Michael Dokes. Here the third.
Dokes switching to the head has surprised Holyfield, who's taking big shots.
Combination by Dokes.
Big punishment by Dokes on Holyfield, who doesn't seem to come back with his own attack.
That left was a grazing punch by Dokes.
But it was a great thought, a left hook just as Holyfield came in. If he caught him, he would have been on the seat of his pants.
Dokes showing a lot of heart.
That's what you're seeing. All the heart in the world is coming out of Dokes as he wants to win around and begin to establish his mastery.
Michael Dokes fighting most of this round without the mouthpiece. There was a great cross by Holyfield that landed.
Now it's Holyfield on the attack, and now it's Dokes taking a breather. He's put in a very heavy round of punching. He should post the rest of the round. I'm sure he will.
Apparently a winning round for Michael Dokes. Final seconds, round 3. The frantic action rages on.
These guys dead. These guys dead. Now listen.
We'll take a look at the flurry from round 3.
Well, this was the attack that Evander finally launched. First 2.5 minutes by Dokes, who came out, switched to the head, and was landing clean shots to the head of a bewildered Evander Holyfield. I don't think he has had this kind of a test in
91-year young Marty Pops Cohn has never taken Dokes. He didn't have to. He owned a coal mine, then sold it. He doesn't need Dokes' money. Dokes says he loves Marty Cohn more than anyone else in the world, with the exception of his mom. Dokes does not seem to be affected by the punches of Evander Holyfield as we enter round 4.
Well, that's been what we're here to prove. Has Holyfield got a heavyweight punch? He's certainly been landing shots that would have hurt a lesser opponent than Michael Dokes. Like those right there. 2 or 3 jabs and a beautiful right hand. But back comes Dokes with that patented body attack.
Explosive.
Dokes just doesn't pardon Holyfield, anytime he gets in close, he gets a body shot for his trouble. As Dokes has chosen right now to take another breather. Could be this toll is getting to Dokes as well.
Go back to the jab, says the Holyfield corner. And the jab gets in.
They traded jabs. Dokes missed his. Holyfield did not. That's what you call a lottery punch. Just take your shot at something big.
Now Holyfield goes to the body.
I think he wants to take a breather from all of this hot and heavy in the trenches action. And that's the way to do it. Bounce around. He's got young legs. He can do it. You notice that Dokes is nailed to the canvas. He does not bounce around. He just stands still.
Say this crowd is split in terms of the popularity for these two fighters. Right down the middle.
I think both the favorites of the crowd, and certainly sentimental favoritism for Michael Dokes, who has come back from sheer hell to be a contender for the title.
Two great stories. The former Olympian of the blue trunks, Evander Holyfield, one of boxing's consummate gentlemen out of the ring, against a man who battled back from a severe cocaine addiction, Michael Dokes, who lost to Jerry Coetzee, his only defeat, admittedly under the influence of cocaine. And then he straightened his life out, went to drug rehab, and he is 8-0 since the comeback. We'll follow Evander Holyfield, the challenger for this Continental America's heavyweight title.
That man going and hit this guy in the body a lot.
Round 5, it's scheduled for 12. It's been a good one.
Dokes reestablishing his mastery in that last round. I'm sorry, not Dokes. Evander Holyfield reestablishing his mastery by, again, a very slim margin, as Dokes had to rest after that big round he had in the third.
This has got to be, without question, Holyfield's most difficult test since he fought Dwight Muhammad Qawi in the first of those two. That came in '86 in what many consider the fight of the year.
Body shots. What a well-conditioned athlete is Holyfield. He's taking body shots that should make him crawl around the ring, and yet no effect on Holyfield.
Part of Holyfield's strategy to turn Dokes around. You might be able to hear in the background Lou Duva, George Benton yelling, "Turn him around, turn him around." So far, he's had difficulty doing that.
Neither man leading in this round. Good shots by Dokes. Catching Holyfield on the ropes.
And Dokes is 225 pounds, leaning on Holyfield.
That's a good strategic move by Dokes. He should be using that big weight to maul and confuse and frustrate. Oh, he's gotten hurt. He's got Holyfield hurt.
He's got Holyfield in some trouble here. He landed to the face.
Holyfield winced from that shot. Maybe got a thumb in the eye, but his legs went wobbly. He's back now, but boy, for a split second there, it looked like it was bye-bye time for Holyfield.
Dokes continues to use the pressure and lead. Uppercuts to the head, snapping Holyfield's head back. Now Holyfield turns Dokes around, but Holyfield comes back with an uppercut.
It's Dokes' fight to push him, to push Holyfield into the ropes. Now look who's stronger. Holyfield just puts the 20-pound heavier Dokes back like if he was a sack of flour. He did it again just then. That's the strength of this young Holyfield. Strong and well-conditioned.
Holyfield landing with uppercuts to the stomach of Dokes.
Oh, good uppercut by Holyfield, but not enough to win that round, which Dokes took.
This was the first time when Dokes had Holyfield in trouble. Remember this one, he winced.
That was big trouble, and he was wincing. He was trying to clear with the stamina of youth and resiliency. He came back, but he was not the same fighter for the rest of that round. Dokes doesn't have the spring in his legs that he had as a young man, or else he would have been pushing Vantage. From the waist up, it's the old Dokes, and from the waist down, it's old man time.
Action from later in that fifth round.
Son of a bitch, back.
Round 6 scheduled for 12. Dokes really being exhorted by his corner, Bill Slayton, Sterling McPherson. Dokes in the white, Holyfield in the blue. Holyfield doubling up on the jab. And then the right.
No question, this corner sent him out to win this round. They said, hey, you blew that last one.
If not the fight, Holyfield pressing the attack.
What zinging punches from Holyfield right at the opening bell and landing on Dokes, but back comes Dokes. Now it's Holyfield that's on top of this round.
Dokes has said on repeated occasions he does not want this fight to fall into the hands of the judges because he feels he's the bad boy of Las Vegas. He feels the judges here don't like him.
1 point away from Dokes.
Takes a point away from Michael Dokes, and that could loom very significant.
Very, very big in a close fight. Unfortunate. That means Dokes better win this round or else he'll have a 2-point deficit in this round. And so far he was behind. It will also change his... Oh, great left hook right on the jaw of Evander Holyfield without effect. Oh,
and he comes back, there's Holyfield with a right cross to the head of Dokes.
And lands right on the jaw. Boy, what a jaw on Dokes. Both these guys are pummeling each other.
There's the left jab by Evander Holyfield. Oh, a right by Dokes that sent Holyfield reeling backwards. He's trying to get some zing back. But Holyfield continues to land with those short, crisp punches inside. Big wild miss by Dokes. He was going for the KO punch there.
But he did the shoe shine. 4 or 5 quick punches underneath and then up over. But those punches landed on the exposed stomach belly of Holyfield, so those are points.
No doubt in the corner of Evander Holyfield. Holyfield sends Dokes back.
But only after taking a 3-punch combination, that was the thing of beauty. Both guys scoring heavily in that exchange.
Furious exchanges since round 1.
When they get in close, Dokes is throwing a mean left hook. Most of the time it misses, but boy, what effect it has when it lands.
Good defensive job there by Dokes to stop those punches by Holyfield. Final seconds of round 6. And after the bell, they continue to go at it.
Come here. I don't want that no more, okay?
I detected an apology by both Dokes and Holyfield there as Dokes went to sit down on his stool. Again, let's see the end of round 6. We'll see if we can... There was the bell, and there are the extra punches.
I don't think these two guys are... That was a curious round, and they took 1 point away, and somehow Dynamite managed to have, Dokes managed to have an even round so that he only lost 1 point. I still have it 58-56. Evander Holyfield ahead by 2 points, quite unofficially.
Round 7 scheduled for 12. Blood on the trunks, the white trunks of Michael Dokes, very evident. It's from above his left eye. Oh, there goes the mouthpiece of Dokes again. Holyfield trying to take advantage. But Dokes is the man punching.
Now, Dokes was severely hurt. He's fighting back on guts now. He was severely hurt. If Holyfield can mount this attack, he may end this now.
Dokes will not let Holyfield mount a barrage.
That was just pure heart on the part of Dokes. He was severely hurt. He's still hurt.
Combination by Holyfield to the face of Dokes.
At this time. But Dokes is still there, tired as he is, and whipped as he is this round. He is still there, and he's got enough guts to hide his feelings from Holyfield. There he is, coming back with more. There's nothing on those punches, but he is punching, making Holyfield stop.
Dokes is not favored, even though he's the champion. But he and his manager, Marty Cohn, are used to the long odds.
Cut on the left eyebrow of Michael Dokes, and that may be what they're looking for. No, they're looking at a glove that has some loose tape, but there is a small cut, not bad.
What an exchange there! Big shot by Holyfield, who opens up, and Dokes remains on his feet. I don't know how.
And that tape is still going. It's going to give him another rest. It's going to give him another rest. The referee looks at not to step in. I don't know why, because that tape can be dangerous.
Dokes taking unbelievable punishment. As you see, the blood as Holyfield came right in after the tape was fixed on Dokes' glove. Holyfield landing with a short right. There's another right by Holyfield. A left by Holyfield, tagging Dokes, who stays up and continues to throw punches.
Dokes is taking punches. It's incredible. No human being should stand up from that. Those are wound up from left field, from the parking lot. What a round for Holyfield.
Incredible round. One of them.
The thing about these punches is that Holyfield is putting his whole body, turning his whole body into the punch, just like they teach you to do, and it's landing. Look at that. And Dokes, remember, fights back. He's not just saying, look at that shot. That's enough to drop anybody. And a hook comes back and another right hand. That's enough to drop people, folks. Those are heavyweight punches.
As we head into round 8, scheduled for 12, Steve Allen and the fight doctor, Ferdy Pacheco in Las Vegas. This has been a monstrous battle. Holyfield in the blue, Dokes in the white.
So Dokes is now battling back from a point. Oh, look at Dokes go.
Michael Dokes. The crowd is standing here at Caesar's Palace.
Look at the punishment these two men are inflicting. These are Dokes' big moments. The first 2 minutes belong to Dokes. And then, if there was anybody in the audience that doubted Holyfield's heart and took that last minute, I gave that round to Dokes very close again. Remember, these rounds are just seesawing so close. Both men are landing effective punches. Both men are hurting each other, and yet we didn't know what kind of guts Holyfield had. Well, we're learning.
Look at the expression on the face of Holyfield as it came out. As we begin round 9, it is scheduled for pick up where they left off. It would seem unlikely. How do you keep that pace going?
You don't. The answer is who's going to wear out first, and when you got a young, strong man against an old, strong man, young always wins that equation.
And the inside fighting.
And I'll tell you one thing right now, both these men would give Tyson a good battle. I mean, both of them, if they come in this kind of condition with this kind of heart, it would be a very interesting bout with Mike Tyson.
Boxing experts, as you see Marty Cohn, the manager of Michael Dokes in the lower left-hand corner. Experts figure Tyson and Holyfield will be slow in developing, or even Dokes and Tyson. Tyson will probably milk his status at the top, follow Don King's itinerary, get some big paydays fighting journeymen, but eventually he will have to meet up with one of these two.
He can meet up with both of them. At the way this fight is going, you know, when you have a fight like this, there really are no losers, because they both have proved that they are in championship contention, and barring a knockout, at the rate they're going, either one or both could be lined up for Tyson.
Past the midway point, round 9.
In the meantime, we have had a peaceful round, if you can call it. If you can call this mayhem peaceful, this has been a peaceful round compared to those, because they had to rest. They have to rest.
Perhaps the fighters are just looking for a second win to keep it going. Now Holyfield said this would be a war, and it's coming to fruition.
He's fighting under disadvantages now. First, he has 1 point off. Second, he has got low blows, which will accumulate to the point where another point can be taken off with no trouble. Then he's getting pummeled by Holyfield. And last but not least, he's got a cut over the eye. A lot of stuff to worry about while you're trying to take care of this young kid.
Yet somehow surviving it all.
Beautiful, beautiful uppercuts by Holyfield with no effect. Again, with that big round by Evander Holyfield, I have him ahead 68 to 65. Again, unofficially, this has been a ding-dong battle. Remember, one of those rounds could easily be a 10-8 round because they took a point away from Dokes.
Now, Michael Dokes on the attack. Dokes with a left, but Holyfield may have blocked it. Dokes senses something now, perhaps.
Yeah, Holyfield's not in the best shape of his life just now.
Holyfield may be in some trouble.
Every time he gets him on the ropes, that superior weight, that pulling and pushing takes right hand.
A twisting right by Dokes, a combination, but Holyfield comes back with a left.
Oh, doesn't seem possible the two heavyweights could pound each other this way without effect. It's Dokes that's beginning to wear out, but he's had a big lead in this round.
And a right by Holyfield, followed by a right by Dokes, and then Dokes' head is snapped back off the combination. Holyfield throwing everything in his arsenal. Final seconds of round 8.
What a round this has been. It's all been Dokes at the beginning and then all Holyfield at the end. Both men getting each other in trouble. What a round. The cut taken good care of in the corner of Dokes is not a factor. Although it's bleeding, it is not a factor.
Good job by Tommy Gallagher.
Both men are just whiling away this round.
Which might mean we ain't seen nothing yet from 10 through 12. Under 30 seconds in the ninth. The right by Holyfield, but didn't seem to bother Dokes that much.
Dokes had just landed a couple of good shots himself, so it sort of neutralized each other.
In for the ninth round. Now we know some thunderous shots in this fight, landed by both fighters. Holyfield in the blue, Dokes in the white. There's another right by Holyfield that landed, and Dokes comes right back.
Holyfield is no doubt about it. Got his gas back in the tank and ready to go. He's put it in gear because he came out with solid punching. Dokes is still in slow motion. He is not eager to press forward against a bouncing Holyfield.
Again, this somewhat reminiscent of the Holyfield-White Muhammad Kawi fight when Holyfield stopped the former light heavyweight cruiserweight champ in the 4th round.
The weary legs of Michael Dokes can't get him there. They just can't get him into punching range.
And fight fans all over the world enjoying this action, not only here in the United States, but this broadcast going to 16 different foreign lands, like England, France, Spain, Japan, Venezuela, Australia, Austria, South Africa, Holland, Thailand, Panama, and on and on.
Invite Holyfield to come into his parlor and stand still to punch there because he just doesn't have the legs to get away from him or to get to him. It's got to be Holyfield's call to come in. Oh, what a shot! Dokes in trouble. Dokes in big trouble.
Michael Dokes staggered.
But fighting back. He's terrible shape.
And there he goes into the ropes. Holyfield looks to finish him off. Richard Steele steps in. And Dokes coming towards us. He's down.
He's out.
He's out. It's over. It's all over, says Richard Steele. Evander Holyfield has won it here in the 10th round.
And that was inevitable, but what a fight Michael Dokes put up. It just seemed like he couldn't keep taking those heavy punishing blows. He had no way to absorb the punishment except fully on his face, and of course he went down along the ropes. Had he not fallen, he would have definitely been counted out, and the referee was definitely, had he not gotten him out, would have still gone fight. So Holyfield answers quite a few questions. Has he got guts? You bet. Can he punch? You bet. And has he got the courage to stay in there with a guy who's got the willpower of Michael Dokes? You bet, you bet, you bet.
Here's the setup punch. It's coming up.
And that's the one that did the damage. It's sort of a left uppercut, a cross between an uppercut and a hook, and it was all over for Dokes. It was even so, Dokes fought back. I mean, where in that massive chest cavity can you find a heart as big as Dokes? Even so, he was fighting back. No legs to keep him up. Nothing to absorb the punch, and he was finished. You see him? He's gone. And, of course, that was his corner. No problem stopping the fight. Watch this shot. That is just absolutely a beautiful hook. The effect had been building up all night long as Holyfield rained punch after punch on the durable Dokes.
A dramatic conclusion to an incredible fight.
And I have to come back with the thought, Steve, that off of this fight, Dokes has lost nothing. He has gained stature as an opponent. If he goes back and wins a couple of good fights, he is in position.
The time, 1 minute, 41 seconds. Of the 10th round, the winner by a TKO and new